Yeah.
So literally just try to ignore the camera if you can.
How do I look?
To me. So you're looking at me.
Okay.
Right. So, Ollie, how old are you?
18.
18. Right. Now we're going to ask you some questions and I hope you're okay. If you're not, then we will cut them out, yeah? But you've seen the questions, you're quite happy?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So the first one. So now, people say they knew from a very early age that they were in the wrong body. When do you think you realised you were in, like you were a boy in the wrong body?
Literally as soon as I could comprehend genders, really. So about 3 or 4.
Really? Wow. So that's really young.
Yeah.
So how did you cope with that as a youngster? Just obviously, you know, as a 3-year-old, as a sort of primary school age, you just let it all go, and it's all just everybody, aren't they?
Yeah.
You don't really know the genders and everything, but then when you get to teenage and puberty and that sort of age, obviously, how did you cope with
even
that
before
stage?
that,
Was it?
We had a conversation the other day where he was talking about walking around the playground.
Really?
At primary school. Tell that story.
Yeah, I was walking around the playgrounds with my friends, they were girls, and they were talking about like loads of girly stuff, and I was in my head, I was like, oh, they must be pretending that they like being girls, because I thought that all girls wanted to be boys. It just seemed
right. Yeah.
I didn't think it was me that was different. I thought all
them.
girls. Yeah.
You're weird. Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, but
that's mad.
I think actually as a child it was more difficult because there's such a separation between genders. Like when you're a child,
yeah.
boys
How
play
old
with
would you
trucks,
say?
Like 5, 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
But then when you become older, it's less like prevalent, the separation between genders, and people are less concerned with like the differences between the two. So I think getting older it was easier, minus puberty, which was difficult.
Yeah.
But it was childhood that was really difficult.
Wow.
I don't think I helped because obviously I had the 2 boys first, and when Rachel came along, I always kept saying, you know,
girly.
You're the little girl I always wanted.
Yeah.
And then that was another story you told me the other week.
Yeah. When I was really young, probably like 6-ish, actually probably younger than that because it was before Lily.
Yeah.
My brother Nathan came upstairs and he was like, oh, it really upsets Mum that you don't act like a little girl because she's always wanted a little girl. And she was like, he was like, just go and get a doll and take it downstairs and play with it so it makes Mum happy. So I did. It was really awkward.
Horrible.
Oh, no, I feel terrible for it. The times I used to try and get him into a dress.
Yeah.
Because I always wanted a little girl with pink dresses.
Yeah, of course. Bows and all that.
Yeah. Sorry.
So who did you confide in first?
My friend Liv, who was my girlfriend
Right.
at the time.
And how old were you then?
16.
Right. So that's when you thought, right, I've got to do something about this.
Yeah. And then I still didn't do anything till the next year, did I?
How did Liv
take it? Yeah.
Well, she was actually fine. Like, she was really understanding and really supportive.
That's good.
I think she struggled with me not wanting to tell anyone yet. Because it was a lot of pressure to put on her that she was the only person that knew, she was the only person I could talk to.
Yeah.
So then after that I told my counsellor, who I had at the time. And
Why did you have a counsellor? When did you start getting a counsellor?
I've had them since I was
Age
10.
of 9. 9, it was 9.
Is that? Do you think that's got anything to do with it, or?
I think. Well, my problem started when Mum and Dad divorced.
Right.
It was mainly anger, but then as I started puberty, I was really angry as well. But I couldn't explain why I was angry.
Yeah.
So Mum suggested counselling then, and then I just stayed in counselling until like last year.
We've done about 3 or 4 counsellors.
That's good.
now.
They are good. Yeah. So you told that person first, the counsellor first? Second.
Told the counsellor second.
And what did they suggest, or what were they?
Well, it was quite unfortunate actually, because she was a really, really lovely counsellor. She was probably the best one I've ever had. but all she could say was that she wasn't qualified to deal with my issues.
Right.
So she just referred me and then stopped seeing me after that. So
Oh,
it's like I
no.
told her and then
And then
was
she
like, I
stopped
can't see
seeing
you.
you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so it was
that's,
like-
that wasn't good.
Yeah, that was a bit awkward.
So how did you feel with that?
It was kind of, it just made me feel like maybe I don't want to tell anyone else, because like this is the first like professional that I've told about it.
Yeah.
And they've kind of just put a brick wall in between
And
us.
pushed you on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then even when she referred me, the next person was just completely useless.
Yeah.
Like really insensitive. I saw her about twice and I didn't want to see her anymore.
Oh. So what would you like to see out of that then? Who, you know, you want somebody to go to, and anybody else out there that's obviously wanting to change, or not change but be themselves, where do they go?
That's the thing, like in place at the moment there are a lot of places that people can go to, but I think it's building the courage to actually go there.
Right.
So one of my counsellors suggested there's a place in Colchester called YES,
Right.
Youth Inquiry something,
Yeah.
and it's really good, especially for trans youth. What they suggested, that if I wasn't ready to tell mum, they could have a support worker take me there and stuff like that. So there's a lot of
Sounds
support
good.
in place. Yeah, there is a lot in place, but
Do you think it's getting more and more?
definitely,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
and there's
good.
we have a really good Facebook page for trans. That's support for parents and children.
Yeah.
Is that just what, a group or a page? Is that a
It's
group?
It's
Yeah.
a group, yeah.
And it was already on there, or you've made it?
It was already on there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just joined it.
You've
Because there's
joined it.
Americans on there as well.
Right. Oh, that's good
That's
as well.
been good because we can.
Oh, Facebook's great for support though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm feeling this, and they all just come thousands
Yeah.
of answers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
There's a lot of love out there.
Yeah, there is.
There is.
Yeah. When did you tell your mum?
April 2018.
So only last year.
Yeah.
And how was that? What did mum say?
She just hugged me, I think.
Oh.
I did.
Yeah.
Were you really nervous before?
Really nervous.
Yeah.
Did you sort of come into the room and then go, oh no, I won't actually?
Well, he messaged me saying, can we go for a walk? And I said, baby, it's cold and we're going to have dinner soon. Well, can you come upstairs so we can talk in your bedroom? So I was like, oh crap, what's it going to be? Is it drugs or something else?
Yeah.
And then by the time I got in there, poor Ollie walked in and was like, couldn't stop smirking with a nervous smirk,
Yeah,
and was like,
yeah.
Mum, it isn't anything good. And I was like, okay. I had no reaction of it.
Oh crap.
Yeah. So I thought, because I know it's a sensible child,
Yeah.
wouldn't do anything really wrong.
Yeah.
So sat next to me on the bed, put his head on my chest so he couldn't look at my
Yeah,
face.
good idea.
And said, I want to be a boy. So I just put my arm around him and said, all right, yeah, we can deal with that. He literally was. Phew. I don't know what I was expecting, but that was fine.
Yeah.
And amazing, everyone was amazing.
Oh, good.
We
So you've had all
really
the support
enjoyed
from the fact-
picking.
What about siblings?
Oh, so good.
So good.
Especially Adam, which was quite surprising actually, because he can be quite difficult, can't he?
Yeah.
He's sometimes got some quite ignorant views.
Right.
Like sexist views as well and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
was really worried about how he'd react, but I think if anything it's brought us way closer.
Oh, it really was.
Ah,
Like
that's
we get on
nice.
so well.
We enjoyed picking a name, didn't we? We were all outside
Yeah.
going through all the boys' names.
Oh, yeah. What other names did you have in?
Oh, there was one that was a joke, Lightning McStorm.
Well, before he came out to me, a couple of days beforehand, he sent me a text saying, what were you going to call me if I'd been a boy? And I was like, oh, was it you were going to be, what was it, Samuel or George?
Samuel George,
George.
that's why I'm Oliver George.
Yeah.
Right. And have you done it by Depot?
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, that's really good that you all took it so well, though. That's
Yeah.
really nice.
Mum didn't. It broke Mum's heart because
Oh,
unfortunately
okay.
she'd seen the haircut, hadn't she? And you'd gone from having it down the back to really short.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be in the room with Mum and Dad to tell them, but it forced my hand because she'd seen the picture on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah.
And how is she now?
She's so good.
Because
Oh,
obviously now
amazing.
with the older generation,
Yeah.
they're fine as well.
Yeah. Yeah, they absolutely.
Yeah, me, my granddad and my nan, we go out together, and if either of them slip up, they both correct each other.
Ah!
So my granddad was like, "Oh, I'm just having a coffee with my granddaughter," and nan was like, "Oi."
That's so sweet.
Brilliant, that's really good.
So sweet.
Were you ever bullied in school, like, for anything?
No.
Like, because obviously you were into more boy things and rather than all the girl things.
I think a lot of the time it was just put down to being a tomboy.
Yeah.
So I kind of got away with it, really.
Yeah.
No
You
one's
lived
ever
in
had a
football
problem.
stuff, didn't you? Always football shirts, football shorts. Never wanted to wear anything girly. But I think that's and would say as a kid I want to be a boy.
Mm.
And I just didn't take
Yeah,
it.
when I
Yeah.
was tiny.
Well, you don't, do you?
No. Just think it's part of that dressing
You
up
wouldn't,
thing,
yeah.
or like because you had two older brothers, did you want to be like your brothers and stuff?
Well, that's what this interview is all about, because there's so many other people, and if parents can watch this as well, that they can see like how much hurt that you're having and everything, and you know what you're coping with inside. So if you can actually see something like this, and obviously see your interview, then hopefully that will change their minds about things, and hopefully if their child then comes to them and says, you know, look, this is what I want to do, they'll hopefully, you know, say to them, oh wow, okay, well let's get on to this, let's sort it out, you know.
We were really blessed though, Vic, because we had a friend, didn't we, whose son was a trans man, and he's already 2 years down the line and had started his testosterone.
Right.
Because I'd said to Ollie, I don't know how I would have reacted if I hadn't already been following his journey.
Yeah.
And I've been so excited for him.
Yeah.
And when he came round to have a chat with Ollie, and his voices started to get deep and everything.
Oh,
so
brilliant.
that helped us knowing somebody already. He what?
He is now come round, talk to you, and what's that sort of given you from talking to somebody with that experience?
It makes me feel a bit hopeful, really.
Light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
It's a long
It's
journey,
a long
isn't it?
journey, really long.
It's 2 years before really anything happens.
So tell me about the journey. What happens?
So when you come out, you've really got to go to the GP, which we did that straight away.
Yeah.
Good.
And then ask for a referral to the GIC, the Gender Identity Clinic.
Yeah.
And what they will do is the GP will ask if you've got any other referrals. So because I've been speaking to my counsellor about it before, she made me a referral to the GP, and then the GP referred me to the GIC.
Right.
And that's the one, it's called Tavistock, it's in London. But the waiting list for the first appointment is 18 to 24 months, which is awful.
My God.
Yeah, and that's just the first appointment, and then you've got to have more appointments before you can start hormone treatment and everything.
Start.
And I don't think many people know that. I think we only knew because of Gabe. So I've known plenty of trans people now, but they haven't been to the doctors and started it. And you've got 2 years before you can start any procedures. So you know, really, if you can get to the doctors straight away.
The first thing I'd say is to go to the GP.
The GP, straight away, and then get the wheels in motion.
The real start of the journey.
Yeah. All right.
And not everybody gets accepted, do they?
No. So what wouldn't accept?
Having the mental health issues made a stronger case for him.
Good.
And I'd been on antidepressants for like a year.
Yeah, so if you say
help.
being on antidepressants and being down.
Well, of course you would be though. You know, with all what's going on in your head and your body and everything else, you're going to get down, aren't you? You're going to feel depressed because you just feel like, where am I going to go with it?
Yeah.
So, of course, at the time you probably didn't know. Whenever you started getting, you know, feeling down and feeling depressed and everything, so you've got nowhere to turn, no one to talk to, and you've just got all these emotions inside. You know, it must have been killing you.
Yeah, really difficult, just really draining as well.
Yeah. How did you cope with your schoolwork and things like that through it all?
I've always been quite passionate about my education.
Good.
Like, even as a kid, I was really into books and stuff like that.
You
So I
worked
just
your
tried
socks
to.
off, didn't you? Yeah. You worked your socks off.
Yeah.
Good.
I just tried not to like think about it because I keep my schoolwork just separate from anything else.
Oh,
no matter what
that's
I'm going
very
through,
adulty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just get on with it.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good. Oh, excellent. what would be your advice to somebody else now? Like, so say if they were 14 years old and they sort of came to you secretly and sort of said to you, like, I need some advice, I feel like this, I feel like that. What sort of advice would you give to a 14-year-old now, or yourself at 14?
Probably do research first, because I think a lot of the time people think they're something that they're not, and then they start a journey for something that they're not, and that can cause way more problems. So when I was younger, I did research about being transgender and what the journey is and how you could tell if you're transgender.
Yeah.
And then don't make any assumptions about anything.
Yeah.
So don't assume that it's going to be difficult to come out and that people won't take it well, because that's what I did, and I've had like a lot of support.
Yeah.
But then also don't assume that everything's going to be perfect after coming out, because it is a really, really difficult and long journey.
Yeah.
But you'll get there.
Yeah. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
For everybody. Yeah. What would you? Oh, I was going to say. What would you like to tell others when it's actually happening to them, like through their puberty, like teens and things like that?
Oh,
That's hard, wasn't
that's
it?
really hard.
It was really hard.
Because obviously, you know, you're growing your boobs and you're growing this and you're growing
awful.
that.
It was absolutely awful.
How do you cope with that?
Didn't cope at all.
Was
Couldn't
hiding it
cope at all.
all,
No.
not talking about it.
But that's for younger people. Me especially, if I'd come out younger as trans, we could have started hormone blockers,
Yeah.
and that's something that I really regret.
Yeah.
Not like telling mum sooner and making it really clear,
Yeah.
because the hormone blockers would have stopped everything, and then my transition would have been a lot easier. I wouldn't have needed top
Oh, I didn't
surgery and
know
things
that.
like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Would have made it so much easier.
Wow.
So that's the recommendations you'd say to any youngster.
For the younger ones,
Now.
yeah. But
Literally
even
get
if
out,
you're
tell
in the
it,
middle
tell
of
your mum.
puberty, you can still start puberty blockers.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, mention about underwear. Like, you can get binders.
Yeah.
yeah, binders.
Binders.
Binders are brilliant.
But we got that from America. That's the place.
It's
to get it from.
Americans get
Yeah,
all
so
that.
this
So you
one
don't
is,
have it here?
You can get them here, but my one is a GC2B.
Right.
It's recognised around the world as being the best company for
Yeah.
Great.
So what it does is it doesn't just flatten the chest; it masculinises it as well.
Oh, great.
So it makes it look like masculine muscles
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
There was two types. There's the short one and the long one.
Yeah.
You went-
What difference?
Oh, I thought you said that the short one was less comfortable when you looked
Oh
up.
yeah,
when
way
people were
less
talking to
comfortable.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you go for the long one.
Yeah.
And so where do you get those?
GC2B, or there's a website called Underworks that do brilliant ones as well.
Right.
Is it? Yeah.
For anybody that needs to do that, they
Yes.
can go there. You haven't started the hormone treatment yet because you've got to wait the stupid waiting list.
Yeah.
On the NHS is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. We did think about going private
Yeah.
because the
How much
actual
is that though?
the actual testosterone is really cheap. It can be like £12 a shot.
Oh, great.
But
For
then
how long many shots though?
you can get them like tri-monthly, I think.
Right.
But the appointments are like £300, £500 now,
Yeah.
so it's not worth it, really.
No, it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You've got to be really lucky if you can go private.
Yeah.
I know. It's really, really hard. So what about now? How's life for you now? 18?
Really good, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, really
Feeling
good.
good?
It feels a bit like I'm just stuck in a waiting room at the moment.
Yeah.
Like waiting to start hormone treatment, because I don't feel like an 18-year-old. I certainly don't look like an 18-year-old.
How old do you feel?
Oh, like 14. It kind of feels like I'm just a prepubescent boy. It's horrible.
Oh.
But I am happy. I'm a lot happier than I
It's
was.
not
Good.
always easy though, is it? Because tell
No.
Vicky about when you went out for a meal with Robin.
Oh, we went.
Who's Robin?
My girlfriend.
Right.
We went for an Indian in Connaught, and I ordered a Disaronno Coke.
Yeah.
I've got my ID on me. And he was like, "Oh yeah, can I see your ID?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And he was like, "This isn't you. This is a little girl."
Oh no.
And I was like, "I don't know how to explain this." and that was really uncomfortable. And then the next time we went out, we went for a Mexican, and
So how did you get past that? Did he take it? Did he say, no, you can't have one?
Mum's friend was working behind the bar, and she
Oh,
came
really?
over.
Oh, was that Linda?
Yeah.
Oh, bless her.
She came over and she was like, "Oh no, just don't worry, I know this person."
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got away with that
bless
one.
her.
And then the next time we went for a Mexican, the waitress asked to see my ID because I got a beard,
Yeah.
and I haven't changed my ID yet.
Yeah. You
And
better
then
do that.
For the rest of the meal, she was going, "Here you go, girls. Here you go, ladies." And I was like,
Oh.
"Oh, that's horrible."
Yeah.
And then you said about using the toilet, didn't you? Because you'd shown your ID as a female,
Yeah.
and then felt awkward about going to use the men's toilet.
Yeah. So that's what you do now. Go to the men's.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you feel comfortable, much more comfortable with that.
Sometimes it's a bit uncomfortable, but I've got a friend called Tommy who I sometimes ask to come in with me. Make sure I
Come
don't
with
get
me.
beaten up.
Help. Well, that's why you should do the boxing. You wouldn't have to worry about that
That's a
then.
good idea. That's a good idea.
That's what we like about Ollie doing it. Our Ollie doing it. Yeah, so you're feeling good now. What's the future for you? What's the, obviously with the trans, you know where you're going now. What about work and how did you feel confident enough to sort of get back into the world of work? And
What was it like when you went down to Harbour Lights?
Harbour Lights, it was really good. They were all really, never even questioned me about my gender or anything
That's
like
good.
that. Always called me mate, big dog.
Excellent.
Yeah, they were lovely.
What were you doing up there?
Just kitchen porter.
Right,
But I want to go into aerospace engineering.
right.
But so you have to get a degree to do it. But the easiest way to do it is just for an apprenticeship. So I'm
Right.
thinking of joining the army
Yeah,
and then getting my training that way. And then after I finished in the army, potentially doing like spacecrafts and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
that'd be good.
Yeah.
Oh, so you got it all sussed out.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Well, like I am just a bit worried, like when I apply for jobs, about how young I look. Because sometimes I think maybe I look so young that it looks a bit unprofessional, like a little baby in a
So
suit.
where, like for instance, where? At
I
a bar,
wanted to-
for instance.
or something like that. I wanted to apply for a finance job in an office, but I don't feel like I look old enough. I feel like I wouldn't get taken seriously. Do you know what I mean?
I do. Uncle Paul, I mean, he was the same. He had such a baby face. I just think
You've got a baby face.
Yeah, well, gosh, I don't know about that. But yeah, you do have a baby face. I remember my brother went to the Hippodrome in Colchester and he was 18, but they wouldn't let him in because he just looked too young.
Do you know what I did?
No, we didn't have to
didn't
do
they?
that in those days. In the good old days.
No, that was good. Oh, well, thanks ever so much for having this interview with me. I really appreciate
It
it.
was quite fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
If we can help
Good.
someone else,
Yeah.
that would be amazing.
Exactly, that's what the whole thing's about. If we can help somebody else out there.
And it's really important that kids tell their parents because the suicide in trans people is very high, isn't it?
Is it? Wow.
Really high.
Yeah.
So the suicide rates for trans men, it's over 54% of trans men attempt suicide.
Wow.
And then there's a different statistics that trans people are 6 times more likely to attempt suicide than gay people, who are 3 times more likely to attempt suicide than anyone else.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, yeah.
So again, what can we do to help them? Where is there? What is there that
We don't
you
know.
know
We haven't
what
really.
you could do to?
It's definitely that support page on Facebook has worked for me.
Yeah.
Having my friend whose son's gone through it helped for me. What?
I think the only way to help really is to speed up the journey. Like I'm finding it really difficult just sitting around waiting.
Yeah.
And I'm sure other people will as well.
Yeah.
And like it literally does feel like torture. Like they're just going, oh, you can just stay like that for 2 years.
Yeah.
And
It's just
horrible.
a case of funding, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's like
precisely.
because, like in America, I guess they start testosterone straight away. But I get that in our country, you need to have a period where I mean, some kid might just come up with it in their head, thinking
Yeah.
2 months later they'll
Yeah,
change
their
their mind.
mind.
That.
Yeah, change their mind.
Yeah, which has happened, hasn't it?
And I suppose they want to have that period to make sure you definitely want to go
Yeah.
through with it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But frustrating when you know that you definitely
Yeah.
want to go through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh God, I hope you. I hope it does speed up for you though somehow.
Yeah. Me too.
I mean, we didn't hear anything for months, so I rang
Yeah, you
the
got to keep
gender
on them.
clinic, and they wouldn't speak to me.
Right.
I know it's hard to call, didn't I?
So you had to ring and stay on the phone for ages just to find out that we'd been accepted,
Yeah.
which was massive.
And you have.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
they sent an information pack a couple of months ago.
And what was the information pack like?
It was pretty much just one letter explaining what happens, and then some forms that I had to fill out.
So not very helpful.
Not very helpful at all, no.
So that's ridiculous as well.
Yeah,
So somehow we need to change that, isn't
Yeah.
I just
it?
think
Change the
maybe more gender identity clinics, because the closest one to us is in London,
Yeah.
and that's the closest one for a whole massive radius of people,
Yeah.
and that's why the wait list is so
Yeah.
long, because
Yeah.
they've got hundreds and hundreds of people waiting to be seen.
Yeah.
Whereas if they opened a couple of more, it'd be so much quicker.
Yeah.
But it just does just depend on funding, don't it?
Yes, it is.
It is the funding all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the counselling. When years ago, you could get counsellors at the secondary school bit, couldn't we, for the kids?
Yeah.
And then it got to they haven't got the money for the counsellors now.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of pressure on kids nowadays.
Yeah.
They need help.
Yeah. What is going on with the world? Shocking.
We need a bit more
Absolutely
love.
shocking.
We need some more love.
We do indeed. Yeah, no, thanks. I really appreciate it.